And welcome back to the Gaming Alchemy channel, everybody. Can you believe it? We are finally into my top 10 games of all time. Today's list is going to be number 10 through to number 6. So with that, let's get on with the list. And just squeaking into the top 10 of my favorite board games of all time is Shadows of Brimstone. This is the Forbidden Fortress core box. This game is a super random luck fest. You roll dice like for everything, but it's so much fun. I just happen to have it set out here because I was just playing it not too long ago. And this was the end of my last mission, which I failed. I had to get to the entrance tile here and potentially fight one more enemy, but that dang darkness overtook us and we did not make it out. But this game tells such amazing stories. And yes, it's luck, but as you build up your character, you find ways to mitigate things and get extra damage. You find all sorts of gear cards and artifact cards. You can go to other worlds. So all these tiles are double-sided, and in this particular core box, it's a Belly of the Beast. And I have just had so much fun playing this. I've been playing it mainly solo, but you can very easily play this with 2, 3, 4 players, and I think it would be a lot of fun. There's so many yes moments when you roll awesome and you get a ton of hits. It just tells an awesome story. And then it's got the town phase between missions that you can potentially heal your character up or heal corruption damage because you can get mutated if you take too much corruption from all the Darkstone that you're carrying. And there are just so many options of different places you can go to when you travel to the town. There's 7 different spots. You can choose to stay at the inn for $10 a night, or you can try to just stay for free at the campsite, but then you're going to have to roll on an event chart and some bad things could potentially happen to you. But at each of these places, there are, you're going to roll for something good or bad that might happen to each place you visit. And then there's all these different options on each place. So you can sell your Darkstone. You can use Darkstone to kind of enchant your items. You can get new items. You can get healing potions and stuff like that. And some of these are thematic in that only if you have certain characters can you do some of these things. So the soldier here, which makes perfect sense at the military post, he can only do these particular things or buy these items. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really love the town phase between. It adds a lot, and you get excited for it. Oops, my soldier fell over. You get excited for it, and you want to just keep going in the missions to see how your character is going to get upgraded. And it's just, yeah, it's a ton of fun. You get experience, you get gold, and you get to use those and spend those to get more skills for your character and potentially buy more items. I really, really recommend this one. If you have not tried it, to give this one a shot. And that is my number 10 game of all time, Shadows of Brimstone. And Shadows of Brimstone was not on my list in 2018 or 2022, as I did not own it then. It's new to the list, and it has shot up to the number 10 spot. I've been enjoying it that much. And my number 9 board game of all time is Oathsworn Into the Deepwood. And this game is basically a giant boss battler game. Everything's huge in this game. The minis are huge. The boxes are huge. The weight of this thing is huge. Let's open up the box and I'll show you what's inside. So this game will combine Euro mechanics with Ameritrashy mechanics, as it uses this battle flow system. So you have cards in your hand that you'll be able to play each turn, and they all have a slot that they are going to go to around your board. And as you play another card into that slot, so this is a 2, but if I had another 3 slot card, then it would actually move them all, the ones that were there, into the next position. And then if you play a 2 slot card, it would move all the ones that were there to the 1 slot, and then eventually it'll move to the 0 slot, and you'll be able to bring them back into your hand again. and you use these Animus cubes to pay for each card. So like that one's got a 4. Some of them are 0 cost, like this one here. And it's so much fun as it has exploding dice, which is something I absolutely love. So you can, you start out with these white dice, and they all have these symbols on them there, which are the exploding dice. So if you roll those, you get to roll extra dice on top of those ones. And you can just keep getting more of these exploding dice and adding more and more to your attack. But the caveat here is that if you roll 2 blanks, you miss. You will bust, essentially. But you can roll as many dice as you want. And that makes it so much fun. And because if you fail, if you miss on your attack, you actually get rewarded for it, because you will get a token that's going to help you upgrade your dice for your next attack, or help you with defense, or help you reroll for your next fight. The production on this game is just absolutely amazing. Like, look at some of these minis. I mean, I got them all painted up, so they look even better, of course. But, you know, it's just such an amazing, amazing production. Like, probably the highest production game I have, and I've got a lot of highly produced games. If anyone's watched the channel before, you know that I like my thematic games. And it's this deep, gritty world where horrible things are happening and you have to try to figure out what's going on. And quick spoiler alert, I am going to show you some minis from the second and third scenarios, because it's my video and I can do what I want. And everybody shows you the big giant rat, but I'm just spoiling a little bit, just the second and third bosses, because I painted them up and they look amazing, and I'm just really excited to show you guys. So I am going to show you that now. So spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. If you don't want to see that, turn away now. You can still listen, but avert your eyes. But here is the second boss right there. I'll get my hands out of the way so you can see. But doesn't he look cool? Like, and it's huge. It's absolutely huge. And the third boss is this awesome worm guy. Kind of like from Dune. And he's got 3 sections to him. So he will move along like this on the board, and his sections will follow him. Like, how cool is that? How many minis have you seen do that? Like, that's so awesome. So sorry about the spoilers, but I had to show you guys, you know. But that is my number 9 game of all time, Oathsworn Into the Deepwood. Something else to quickly tell you about is that it is a bit tedious to set up and teach. It's not a game that you want to bring to your friend's house, because, man, it's so heavy, takes up so much room, and it's a bit of a bear to set up. So you kind of want to have this one set up before your friends get there, invite them over, have a great time, and then you can put the thing away later at a different time. But the narrative in this game is amazing. It has kind of like a town phase, story section phase, which is amazing. It's got this awesome app, and man, I get so excited talking about this game because it is so much fun. It makes me want to play it again, and it just looks incredible. It just really sucks you into the theme of this game. But yeah, again, my number 9, Oathsworn Into the Deepwood. And Oathsworn Into the Deepwood was not on any previous list as well, and it has shot right up to the number 9 spot. And my number 8 game of all time is Ankh, Gods of Egypt. This is basically an area control game in the Eric Lang trilogy of Blood Rage, Rising Sun, and now Ankh. And obviously this is my favorite of the 3. Blood Rage was earlier on my list, and Rising Sun was not on my list at all, as I actually have not played that one. But this one is awesome. I'm going to show you what's inside and we'll talk about it some more. So yeah, like I said, this is an area control game, action selection game. You're going to be choosing from these different actions to do different things. Whenever you trigger the end here, it's going to move this track along, on different events are going to happen depending on where it is. You have different monsters. Here's all your Egyptian gods all painted up. And basically what you're trying to do in this game is be the most popular Egyptian god again, because their Instagram followers are super low. They want to turn that around. And how do you do that other than getting more devotion, which you're going to be moving up this track. And when you get to here, there's going to be a potential gods might fall out. There's going to be merging that's going to happen. So the last two gods on the devotion track are going to merge together at a certain point right here when this event happens, and their powers are going to merge, and you're going to be working together as a team and trying to get to the top and be the most popular god again. Every god has asymmetric powers that you are going to be working with, and every god has access to the same abilities and upgrades that you're going to be able to get by doing a certain action, and you're going to be able to unlock monsters, which are these little symbols here, which are all these lovely looking guys. And then there's some soldiers there too, of course. And it works really, really well as a two-player game, which is something that the other two games in this Eric Lang trilogy didn't do as well. And yeah, I really like the merge mechanic because there's no other game that does it, and it's unique. And why do we want to just play the same game over and over and over when we can have games that do different stuff? And that's why I like it. And yeah, like I said, it works great at 2. This game will really mess with your head when you're playing with your friends, because there's you each have a hand of cards that you're going to play during each battle, and depending on what card gets played is really going to mess with your plans, especially that Plague of Locusts card. So knowing how to read your opponents and try to figure out what they're going to play so you can counteract it as best as possible. Obviously the production is just insanely off the charts on this game, just like pretty much every game on this list so far. But it is really a fun game. Pulls you into the theme, especially with them all painted, of course. And fun fact, you can actually back this game on GameFound right now, as there is a Blood Rage 2, Blood Rage Valhalla game being game founded right now. And you can buy all the original games that were in the original trilogy by Eric Lang, and you can add them onto your pledge. Just be ready to pay for it, because they are not cheap, especially that shipping. Yikes. But if that is something you are interested in getting, that is available to you. So that is my number 8, Ankh Gods of Egypt. And Ankh Gods of Egypt was number 4 in 2022, so it's dropped just a few spots, and it was not on the list in 2018. And number 7 on my top 25 games of all time is Cthulhu Death May Die. And this is the second CMON title on this list, and it's back-to-back CMON titles from Ankh to Cthulhu Death May Die. And this is a dungeon crawler / boss battler. It kind of feels like both, as you are going to be going through a setup map in each scenario, and you're going to be fighting one of these elder ones. So there's Mr. Cthulhu himself. We got Dagon over here, who looks really cool. He's super annoying to play against because he turns you into one of these little fishmen. Forget what they're called, deep ones. and yeah, it's just super annoying. This guy is, I don't even want to pronounce his name, Yog Sothoth or something like that. Looks super gross. We got Hastur over here, just chilling in his robes, and that's all the big bossies you're gonna fight. And this game is awesome because you are trying not to go mad This is your little track that tracks how insane you are. Every time you fall in one of these spaces, you get to upgrade your character into one of these different upgradable slots here, and that is like the fun of this game. You are trying not to go too insane too quickly, but you also want to go insane to upgrade your character. You've obviously got some health and some stamina here, and this is literally the game right here. It's listed on your board. That's another nice thing about this game is it's not a hard teach, and there's not a ton going on like some of the games on this list. So it's pretty easy to play and get to the table, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's one of the shorter dungeon crawlish type games out there. Let's focus more on those minis though. Let's move the camera a bit while I talk. You get tons of dice to throw, so it's very Ameritrashy, but super exciting because these awesome moments happen where you're rolling like 7 or 8 dice and you take out the elder one. He's got these different stages that you got to complete. So you got stage 1. Once you complete that, you move to stage 2, stage 3, and then the final stage. But he keeps adding more and more dice every stage, and so it gets continually harder, but you got to do it. And then if this guy here ever gets to the end, then you're going to lose the game. The elder one is going to come out when this track reaches the red slots there, and you're not going to be able to attack him until you disrupt some kind of ritual that is in every scenario, and the rules for that are here. These are the different monsters you're going to be fighting. There's always these pesky little cultists, bad cultists, and they're always trying to summon evil monsters to the earth. So I think now I only have the first and second seasons and the Unspeakable box that came with the Kickstarter. And I think I have like 28 playable characters, and now they've come out with season 3 and 4, 5 and 6. So I mean, there must be like 100 characters you could choose from if you had it all now. It's a little ridiculous. I find so much replayability because each scenario can be played with each elder god or elder one. So each scenario could be played 4 times with the amount of content I have, and there's even more elder gods now. And I think they all can be played with each other as far as, you know, you can mix season 1 gods in with season 3 and 4. I believe, don't quote me on that. But the production on this game is huge. It's off the charts, just like it was for Ankh, Oathsworn, Shadows of Brimstone. That's why I love these games. Production is awesome. They look great. They really pull me into the theme. And they are just so incredibly fun to play. I know I've said that over and over and over and over, but you gotta trust me. If you have not played this one, you gotta try this one. Like I've been saying for them all. But this one, you just have so much fun with your friends or solo. This one works really great solo as well. You can just play a couple of characters and see how you do. But that is my number 7, Cthulhu Death May Die. And I should mention, in 2022, this was number 6 on my list, and it was not on the list in 2018 because I did not own it, and I don't think it was, well, it might have been out by then, but I did not own it then. So that is my number 7, Cthulhu Death May Die. And my number 6 game of all time, and the last one for this list, is Dune Imperium. And I would include both games on this list. There's a newer one called Dune Uprising. I've only played that one once, so I am... Dune Imperium is more the one I'm talking about in this particular list, but the second one there, Uprising, is also very good. But I've played Dune Imperium more, so I'm just a little bit more familiar with it. But this game is an asymmetric game. You all have your own separate powers that you're going to be working with. And it's basically a race to 10 victory points, or with the expansions, it's a race to 12 victory points. And the art is really great in this game. It's not stills from the movie, but it's artistic renditions of the actors who played all the different characters. And this game feels like the Dune movie. The different the tensions and just the politicalness of the movie just comes through in this game, and it's a lot of fun. And it basically combines deck building with worker placement and combat. And there's no dice with the combat, but you don't know if you're going to win or not necessarily, because you don't know if your opponents are going to have certain cards that may be able to screw with you, and they're going to be able to get more strength than you. So that is always a nice tension that it adds to the game. The expansions are great. One thing I really love about this game is the synergies that you can create with the cards as you deck build your deck. Every asymmetric power works just a little bit differently. Some of them let you thin your deck out really quickly. They all have just something unique that kind of adjusts your play style. And some of them are better than others for sure. But it's fun to try those new characters you've never tried before and try to figure out how you can win and be the most efficient with that particular character. And the spots are fun and exciting. There's always that tension as well of, oh man, he took the spot I wanted. Some of the expansions kind of fix that a little bit, and you are able to go onto spots that other people are on. But this is a great one if you love worker placement, if you love deck building, and you like some combat in there. Kind of feels like a hybrid, kind of like some of the other games on this top 25 of mine. I seem to like those games quite a bit. So check Dune Imperium out if you have not. And that is number 6. And in 2022, this game was 19th overall. So it's risen for sure. And in 2018, it was not on the list because it did not exist. So that is, again, my number 6, Dune Imperium and Dune Imperium Uprising. So, well, thanks for watching today. Hopefully you enjoyed my list of my top 10 games from numbers 10 to number 6. Be on the lookout for my next video, which will count down my number 5 to my number 1 games of all time. And thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.